And he got another job. And he had just hired in like 6 months previous. He was doing a great job, and he's all apologetic. He says, Ed, I can't turn this down. You'd take it if they offered it to you. I says, what is it? He says, it's doing amusement park rides for Disney World, for SeaWorld. This company started out doing remote submersible vehicles, and then they got contracted to do a Disney ride that was a submarine.
20,000 Leagues Under the Sea ride.
Probably.
Yeah.
And then he's been all over the world with a team programming rides for different simulations at different amusement parks.
Funny, when I used to work for Roush, we had just gotten contracts at Roush for doing a bunch of the roller coaster cars.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, it was really
Somebody's
cool.
got to do it. Who knows what they're doing?
It's interesting. So there are a lot of ties here in Michigan with that. But let's take care of a little business. If you're looking for something to do tonight, Burroughs Roadhouse in West Brighton, 5311 Brighton Road, 810-227-6000. Great food. So call and make a reservation. Tell them you saw it in the Current newspaper.
Tell them we sent you.
Yeah, or tell them you heard it on the Drift, one or the other. 810-227-6000. And I do recommend that you make a reservation if you want to go out for dinner because they get busy. Their food is good. Drinks are good. Atmosphere is wonderful.
Don't let that scare you off.
Yeah, don't let that scare you off.
Call or don't. You know?
The food is good. It's a really great place. And there's coupons in the Current, $15 off any 4-dinner entree. So if you you're doing that date thing with another couple, $15 off your dinner, man, that's a couple of drinks right there. So make sure you get out there. And they also do 15% off Sunday brunch. And their Sunday brunch is really good, too, if you haven't been there. So Burroughs, 810-227-6000, or go to burroughs-roadhouse.com.
Yeah.
How that? And tell Jim that you heard it here or saw it in the Current. It's very helpful to us. Okay, so I want to hit this one more time. Folks, GoFundMe.com. Please, at least go there. Give something. $5, $10, $100, whatever you can give, and help. Ask your friends. Get on Facebook, folks. We need your help. Twitter, Facebook, Gab, whatever. Wham Radio has been granted by the FCC an approval to build out and start broadcasting over FM. FM, folks, not AM, FM, if we can come up with a certain amount of money, and that's $60,000. So we need your help. Listeners, if you've never given to the station before, please help us out because, you know what, advertising doesn't always cover these kinds of things. So we're trying to stay in business. We're trying to grow. We're trying to get our message out, and this is helpful. So you can do your part to help save the Republic by supporting Wham in this endeavor of getting on.
One contribution at a time.
Yeah, one contribution at a time.
Make two.
Make two. Make many. Yes. And then email us and let us know that you did so that we can help you out.
Not a campaign contribution. There's no limit.
Yeah, that's right. It is a worthy cause. It is something that would really help all of us in the end because then we can reach those people who just, a lot of the young millennials don't even know what AM radio is, right?
Amplitude modulation versus frequency modulation.
Yeah.
As if that means anything.
I like having a smart guy like you in there. I don't even remember what they stand for anymore. But definitely go to GoFundMe.com and put in the search bar Wham Radio and make a contribution. Please just break out the credit card or debit card, whatever, and just give us a little help. Please.
Tell them we
said really important. Yeah. The biggest guy can come in and sit with me. How's that?
Yeah,
we'll have him sit with us and talk with us. So make a great big donation.
We got to do a fundraiser like PBS. Call in right now. We might we'll give the biggest contribution at this hour, a coffee cup.
You can have mine.
There, yeah.
It's only slightly used Yeti, but it's a Yeti. Oh, no, we don't want Yeti, right?
Yeah, they nix the NRA.
All right, let's take a phone call from Gary in Hazel Park. Gary, welcome to the show. You want us to talk about North Korea?
Hey, guys. Yeah, at this current stage, it's hard to tell what's going to happen or not happen, but it looks good. I mean, it looks like the North Koreans have put themselves such in a box, they're not going to have much of a choice but to cooperate with the planet. I mean, that's what it looks like. He doesn't have much of a choice at this stage. Yeah,
and I think another driving issue for them is that final. They're talking about destroying their nuclear test site. It destroyed itself. I think they overdid themselves, and it's probably a huge contamination issue, and they need some help getting that fixed so the whole country doesn't go radioactive, right? So they're probably asking for tons of concrete from the United States. They need to seal that place up, right? So there's a number of things. This isn't all about how well we did in negotiating. I'm sure they're suffering over there, and they finally have realized they've reached the tipping point.
With the sanctions, they can't buy concrete.
But don't you guys feel better every day knowing we have a president that's not walking around bad-mouthing our country everywhere he goes.
Oh, yeah.
Or in a pantsuit.
Or in a pantsuit, yes. And
Thank you,
and the
Jesus.
victory with the NFL makes me very happy also.
Yeah, well, and I think we're going to maybe go ahead, Gary. What's your take on the NFL? I wasn't going to wait until the end, but since you hit it, let's just go. What's your thought?
My take on it is those, what the president say, SOBs, right?
Yeah.
They should either stay in the dark, hide from us, hide their shameful faces, or stand there like a man to honor our country and the glory of the fallen.
Yeah. For me, it's strictly business, right? I'm a business owner. I own a team, and I didn't make as much money last year because you morons were aggravating my customers by sitting down during the national anthem. You know what? If it were me,
You'd be wearing flag patches.
violation of contract, because I think it's already. If you didn't have it in there, well, shame on you as an owner.
The
right?
uniform
But
would have a flag on it.
That's right. But I would make sure that, you're not going to be playing this game. And if you continue to play the fool, and this is a business, this has got nothing to do. You want to do what you want to do outside the business, knock yourself out. When you're in my stadium, on my team, during my time that I'm paying you for, you will do as I say, or you will not be employed any longer.
Many employees have a clause that if you reflect negatively on the organization, you're out, particularly entertainment. And the NFL is entertainment.
I am sure every contract in the NFL has that clause.
Well, that's
in
how
it.
the guy
I'm
who
sure
beat
they
his
do.
wife up out of the elevator, that's how he got out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it reflected poorly on the NFL.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, geez, not standing for the flag, the anthem, come on.
Well, shame on Roger Goodell and the
Yep.
NFL
Oh,
for
listen.
not squashing it right at the beginning
Spineless.
and being done with it.
How do you be
Because
the head of the NFL and be spineless?
they paid the price. They paid the
Well,
price.
that's true, too, because, for decades now, about 2 or 3, the football players have not actually been the run-of-the-mill good guy.
Yeah,
I mean, they were all getting in car crashes and doing drugs and stuff, so
yeah, exactly right. Well, good
beating
call,
their
Gary.
wife up, beating their wife up in an elevator. Yep.
be their wife. All right, guys, be well.
All right,
See you,
take care.
man.
Let's take a call from Joe and Wyandotte. Joe, welcome to the show.
Jeez, I thought he fell asleep. Come on, Joe. What's the rest of the show going to be about now?
Well, you mentioned NFL, so I'll just, it's meant to hide that a large percentage of the players are scum and worthless, and I'm still mostly boycotting.
Wow, tell me how you really feel, dude.
Yeah. So, I'm
Joe
looking
Kid
forward
from
to the
Malone.
XFL in 2020. But I called about the corporate welfare that you had on the drift.
Oh, thedailydrift.com. Is that where you were reading that?
Yeah, that's where I was reading that.
Shameful plug.
TheDailyDrift.com.
Yeah. Hey, you could always come
Yeah,
on
well,
in. And why do you go to the drift?
Because it's the news you need to know.
There you go. Yeah, we've had, and I won't take credit for those stories. Those are all coming from Michigan Capital Confidential, I think, right, Joe?
Right.
And
that one came from Michigan Capital Confidential.
Yeah, which is a great website. Those guys do a phenomenal work investigating things, especially here in the state of Michigan. And so we link them up every day.
But Gary combs through them so you don't have to. He gives you the cream of the crop.
I give you the cream of the crop. Make it easy.
And
all I'm doing is making it easy for you. That's all.
One of the things in the story is a link to a voting record scorecard, which had taken votes regarding corporate welfare from 2001. And, of course, way up at the top of the list is Gretchen Whitmer at 98.1%. I thought Democrats were supposed to be against corporate welfare.
Yeah, and isn't that the conundrum, Joe? Because Democrats always say it's the Republicans who are working with the corporations and big business and all that. It's the Democrats that are doing this. They're the ones getting all the money from corporations right now. It's been that way on the national level, too.
Yeah.
And at 76.9% is Tanya Shoemaker, so it's understandable why she keeps attacking Tom Leonard at a personal level, wanting people to avoid studying her record at any length.
Yeah, and the guy who correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm trying to remember that list because it's in my head right now. Who was one of the guys at the very top who voted consistently not to give those welfare? Tell me.
Absolutely. 3.5% stands against corporate welfare, has the record to prove it. Patrick Colbeck.
There you
I've
go.
heard that name before.
Yeah, Patrick Colbeck for governor. Folks, if you have not looked at Patrick Colbeck for governor, you need to. Google him up, Facebook him, whatever you have to do. Pat Colbeck is the man that we should have as our next governor.
You need to tell your friends about Pat Colbeck, because I talk to people and they go, who?
I know. Yeah, the
it's
name
like-
recognition is a bit of an issue. I think in the primary, he might do very well. And I'm hoping he wins the primary because Callie and Shooty are shooting each other in the foot, right?
Good.
Yeah, and of course, Shady Shooty is up there at 100% support of corporate welfare.
Yeah, absolutely.
Corporate
Don't
communism.
go with these GOP elite. Do not vote for Callie and do not vote for Shooty while you have Patrick Colbeck in the running, because Pat's the guy. He's a rocket scientist, and
Yeah.
I'm not lying. He really is a
Yeah.
rocket scientist.
He's got product on the space shuttle.
And he's got the ideas that the Republican Party here in Michigan has fought against, because it's against the elites, and it's just common sense. Pat Colbeck is the guy. Make sure you look at him and support him in the primary. Please, Patrick Colbeck for governor.
You know, I said shuttle, I meant space station. He's got devices he made
Yeah.
on the station. Yeah.
Yeah. What else you got, Joe? Anything?
Something to do with life support, I believe. So they're alive in part due to Pat Colbeck. Now, you could, of course, have a 6-hour show with all the stuff that's up on the Daily Drift and in the Current Online. So, unfortunately, we'll just have to leave it there.
All right.
But, yeah, you know, it's the governor race, Colbeck is the obvious choice. It's hands down. There's nobody close to him in being the real, tested, true, unwavering conservative.
Yes, absolutely. All right, great call, Joe. I appreciate it.
Take care, guys.
All right,
See ya,
love
Joe.
you too. See ya. Okay, so two things we wanted to get for you. You've got a track that you want to play.
I want to play
right?
my clip real bad, and we're
so
not going to have time.
go ahead. Do yours, and then we'll
Hey,
do mine.
Derek, would you kindly play that clip I gave you?
This is Pompeo.
This is Mike Pompeo talking to Mo Udall and a Democratic senator, I think, and he's interviewing Pompeo. And just it'll explain itself.
All right, go ahead. Play it.
Members of Congress and the executive branch are under an ethical duty to avoid even the appearance of a conflict of interest. Do you agree that there is at least an appearance of a conflict of interest with this sequence of events with China?
So I haven't seen any indication that would support the connection that you seem to be drawing. I was part of the conversation early and then, frankly, more recently about ZTE. I knew about ZTE from my previous role there, but I was a member of Congress as well. This administration takes the threat the ZTE poses incredibly seriously. Indeed, it's the first administration to take any action against ZTE, in spite of the fact that it's been a known threat to the United States of America for years. Previous administration chose to do literally nothing against ZTE. And so the critiques that this administration has not done enough, and the many others that you refer to, I don't know who they are, aren't reflective of the deliberations that I've seen this administration undertake with respect to how to respond to ZTE.
Here's the
Given that the president refuses to disclose his tax returns, how can you assure the American people that American foreign policy is free of his personal conflicts of interest?
Senator, I find that question bizarre.
You don't want to answer it then.
Senator,
You just want to describe it as bizarre?
Yes, I do.
Not give me an
I
answer.
think that's indicative of my answer, Senator.
Yeah.
I've been incredibly involved in this administration's foreign policy now for some 16 months, and I have seen literally no evidence of what you are
Well, that's what I want to
scurrilously suggesting.
ask you specifically
Scurrilously,
about.
exactly.
No,
It
it's
is
not scurrilously.
It's an outrageous suggestion.
My friend, it is not scurrilously. This has been raised by a number of people
Yes,
out
sir.
there.
Yes, sir, it has. You want me to tell you who those folks are and what their political interests
I
may
know.
well
It's
be?
fake news. Now, let me ask my question. Okay. Back to the specific case with ZTE. Do you believe that it is in the U.S. interest to help the problematic ZTE phone company get back into business fast? That's the Trump tweet. And is the State Department using any resources to work with the Commerce?
Yeah.
Number one, ZTE got the big foothold here because of Barack Obama.
Yeah.
You moron. Come on. You want to blame that on
Scurrilous, bizarre,
These
scurrilous.
Democratic
I love it.
scumbags are just pathetic. And folks, do one thing in 2018. Don't vote for one Democrat this time around.
I'm sorry. Don't be more positive. Vote for Republicans because you can't sit this one out. You got to support this administration and what it's doing by giving them a Congress that they need to do it.
Yeah, we need the 60 votes in the Senate.
One thing Pompeo did not say to Udall that he should have said, besides saying this question is bizarre or you're scurrilous, is, hey, I'm not your friend.
Yeah.
Udall called him his friend.
I love Pompeo.